What is it like to successfully get with your crush? Comments. In 4 words, not how you imagine. Look, the magic of crushes lays on the image you have of them. Doesn't matter if you are friends or not, cause even if you are, relationship changes a lot when you actually get together. But it also feels pretty fucking awesome the first moments cause, I mean, you got your crush. I had a crush back in high school, way out of my league. She was gorgeous, everyone wanted her. Me, I was average. Average and so small. Short men of Reddit, you know this pain. You can have plenty of quality, if you're short, 95% of the girls just ignore you. Ah yes, and she was tall as fuck. You know the story. If I'm reading this comment it's because I got the girl. Turns out, worst girlfriend ever. She was paranoid and so weird. She hurt me a lot. This turns out I had a crush on a tiny portion of who they actually were. Not so much on the actual whole real person. Lesson learned. My crushes have more to do with my boredom in love life than anyone else. Precisely the outcome I had. I was so certain that it was going to be amazing. But like most things in life, it never can live up to the idea of it. Just about the only thing in life that was so much better than I had even thought it would be was having a kid. Everyone will tell you that it's amazing, but words cannot describe what it is truly like. It depends. I had actually been dating a girl that became my lifelong crush after we broke up. A decade later we got together again, and I knew her so well that there weren't any surprises. We ended up marrying. It's been 20 years, and while we had our ups and downs it's been amazing to be with her the whole time. Too long didn't read. I married her after 8 years. Hey, I truthfully have had a lucky experience. I've crushed on this girl since junior year of high school, and she got out of a rough 5-year relationship her senior year, and I got of a shorter 1-year relationship about a month prior. She asked me to her prom, didn't pull the whole as friend stuff I anticipated, and I was cautiously ecstatic. I really wanted to go right about things. Turns out she also fancied me a good bit, and about 2 weeks before prom I asked her on a legitimate date. We of course went to Wendy's cause I know how to treat a woman. Everything went well, dating and prom was fantastic, and only about 2 years later did we have our first argument. Luckily we both are able to understand that small even large disagreements can be compromised, which was such a breath of fresh air compared to all of my previous experiences. We dated for about 5 years and we began to discuss marriage once we spoke often about our future hopes and expectations in a lifelong relationship, and we meshed very well. I asked her to marry me in June of 2018 with the aim to marry officially in April of 2020. Unfortunately for us the pandemic hit, and we had to cancel it, but we had a very private wedding on November 1st. She always felt like the one to get away up until she asked me to prom. It has been 8 years now, and while the last year really challenged us, having both lived together with another couple in a small space and always being around each other, we realize if we can make it happily through this, nothing can get in the way of us in the future. I wish you and anyone else here luck. Whether or not it's your crush, I hope you can also see the worst in each other and it not be enough to make you wince or bat an eye. I've recently been seeing this girl. It has been going on for like a month and a half, and crushed on her a couple times throughout high school. Recently we found Facebook messages between each other from after freshman year homecoming. It has been amazing, and I don't think I've laughed or smiled this much in ages. However, timing is bad. She is fresh out of a not so great relationship, so the other day we decided to pump the brakes. Still figuring out exactly what that means. I'm hoping I can stick around long enough and help her through this, because I realized right before that I had legitimate feelings for her. She's smart, funny, has the same academic interests, and is just beyond gorgeous, so I'm hoping it works out. Edit. Literally just broke things off. Crushed. Lol. Achievement unlocked. Happy ending. This is really wholesome. I'm glad it's been good for you. So this is a Wendy's, don't even begin to compare. Y'all are hitting it on all levels. I wish you both the absolute best in all your endeavors. As a non-American I always wondered about the phrasing we dated when someone is talking about several years of relationship. Has this just become an American English synonym for being a couple, or is it expressing a bond that is not as serious as an all-in relationship? Genuinely interested. Wonderful story. Glad you're both doing well too. So there is hope. I wish I lived by that last paragraph 2 years ago. Dated the girl of my dreams and broke up with her because of an argument. What a dumbass I am. I see her every day, the witches don't even know. I think I'm in the midst of something similar right now. I'll let you know in 8 years. Had a crush on this punk with Liberty Spikes when I was 12. Now I'm 33 and he's the guy in a CBGB shirt playing video games with our daughters. Together 18 years. He still makes my heart skip a beat. Edit. Thank you, the awards. Gives me warm feels. This is it. This is what I want my future to be. AWW, so wholesome. Jesus, get a room you too. Bittersweet. Because you find out how the image of then you built up is somewhat false. Happened to me. Fell in love anyway cause reality was still better than what I dreamed, even with his faults. Happily married now. Seconded. It's sometimes scary how your mind completely ignores all cons and builds up an ideal image. This, you crush on someone based on how you perceive them. I majorly crushed on my ex before we got together. Took a while, but I realized that we are completely incompatible. I feel like it's healthy for me to read this. I hope you are well, my friend. Was gonna say something like this, but yeah, kinda like that saying about meeting your heroes. Now it's just about weighing how strong whatever feelings you do have. We just beat 1 year ourselves. Looking forward for more. This, I chased her for years, and then when we got together it was a big bunch of men. This, we are still together and love him very much. Don't, damn, I had no idea he was so annoying and doesn't freaking listen, lol. Mayo, it especially bites when your crush is an abusive shithead and you don't see it till you're in a bit deep. I'm aware of how weird and ridiculous this story is, but hey, quarantine has been getting to me and Mercury is in retrograde or some shit. Anyway, I made an account on this app where you can talk to people who you've been randomly paired with based on some loose interests via text or voice call, and you only get to see the avatar they made for themselves rather than pictures or video calls. It can be a really fun app. Called it. I was paired with this girl and we immediately hit it off. We had some things in common and got past that friendly period quite quickly. We started chatting day after day into the early hours and it was hella cute and she would send me good morning messages, etc. Now, her personality is quite distinct, but I suppose you could mistake it for another type of personality. Based off her avatar and personality that I thought she had, I created an image of a person in my mind, and through our chats I got to know this person very well. I grew very attached to them, and even started to feel the fuzzy feelings. I know. Blame quarantine. We finally exchanged social media and once I saw what she looked like the rug was pulled. No, she's not some hideous beast. That wasn't the problem. It was that it was a complete different person to who I grew attached to, personality included. It turns out, this girl I went to bed and woke up in the morning thinking of every day literally never even existed. She's not real. She's floating in the void. It was actually devastating because I formed a connection with her like many of us have done with real people to the point where we felt we knew them well and think of them every day. It sounds silly, but it feels similar to heartbreak or grief or something, obviously to a lesser extent. I can never talk to this girl again. I can't go back and have those lovely conversations. I can talk to the real girl, but it's a different person altogether. It's like I've lost a close friend, but it's even weirder because they were never really there. I literally have memories with her, / with a non-existent being. I know. It's ridiculous and sounds like the tragically embarrassing plot of a sci-fi romance with a lonely loser protagonist. Her comes to mind. Again, quarantine is fucking with me. I'm not a loser, promise. Edit. Looks like there's some misunderstandings. She didn't trick me or anything. It was me who twisted what I knew of her into some fantasy girl with whom I fooled myself into thinking I was talking to and deeply connecting with. The weirdest part is thinking back on fond memories of our talks and realizing they take a completely different shape in reality. I kinda miss her. I miss this non-being I unintentionally fabricated in my mind. I like the real girl too. We still talk. Yeah, expectation is a bitch. From my experience, the chase is always the most fun part in this scenario. The honeymoon phase is nice, but man, is that chase something else. Disappointing. Yeah, or they change when they start dating someone. I really liked this girl a lot when she liked me as a friend, but as she became more interested, it's like she shut down and just tried to be what she thought I wanted her to be. She wouldn't argue with me, point out things that I said that were dumb. Eventually she wouldn't even really tell me things anymore. She would just sit and smile and laugh at my jokes all the time. It sucked. I have my own issues, so I couldn't really stick it out anyway, but it was tough seeing her change like that. I liked her for who she actually was. My BF had a crush on me for a few months before he confessed to liking me. He was surprised when I told him I liked him too. Cute. It really do be like that sometimes. I was 12 when I confessed to this girl I liked, only to find out she wanted to ask me out. We dated. Every Friday was skate night and video games for a month, but broke it off. It was nice though. Edit. She broke it off with me. My first heartbreak at 12, and was before Valentine's Day. Good looking people doing good looking people things. This is more frequent than people think. The majority of my exes confessed that they had a crush on me right after I asked them out. Answer the question then. Wait, I didn't expect to get this far. If it's someone you also view as a bestie, you might be pretty lucky. Otherwise, sometimes wanting feels better than having. Agree. Been with my best friend for 8 years now. First baby on the way. Nothing better than being friends for life. I second this. I had a crush on my best friend for a year or so before I told him. Turns out he felt the same, and we are coming up on 8 years together. Same. My bestie and I have been together going on 5 years now. I'm madly in love with him. I have never experienced such a powerful, beautiful love before getting together. My advice would be to go for it. Had my dude never made that first move, I would have never looked at him in any way other than a friend. I didn't find out until a few years later that my crush, and that's a bit of a stretch, was actually crushing on me. Tracy was this waitress at the restaurant where I was a cook. I say it was a stretch that she was my crush because I was far from the only one. We all wanted her and she was way out of our league. All of us. Tracy was working on her master's degree while she was waiting tables and was far too intelligent, classy, and beautiful to get with any of us slobs working in the kitchen. She was nice, though, and over the years we got to be friends. Then she got her degree, was moving on, and we had a going away party for her at our favorite bar. A few of us closed it down, and Tracy and I wound up in the parking lot afterwards, in that I will miss you so much, and it's also freeze ass cold out here embrace. She was very emotional, and I asked her what was wrong. She said something like I wish we'd been more than just friends. Well, shit, you couldn't have told me this a couple years ago. We wound up making out, that's what we called it back then, in that parking lot for a while. It was what she'd always wanted to do, and I had no idea I could have done. It was a revelation. Yet it was fleeting. She was leaving, I was staying, and it was never going to be anything more than that moment. About a year later she came back for a mutual friend's wedding, and at the reception we wound up together again. It was still there, that thing between us, but it was even further away from being possible. It was nice to know, though, that if circumstances had been different, and I hadn't been such a clueless idiot, it could have turned out different. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Also like the video if you enjoy it.